Hello, y'all. I'm Monica Bermudez. I wanted to share this message, probably go on my YouTube, about authenticity and about predictions. The thing about predictions these days is that they can't be super accurate because the energy is so fluctuating right now. In other words, the collective energy changes often. So it's very hard to pick up where the energy is. I mean, for predictors, though, the way they do it is that they sense what the energy is like right now in this moment. And that could change tomorrow, could change the next day. But of course, for any prediction, right? And I don't really care so much for predictions about doomsday and doom and so forth. If it comes to certain predictions, because it is a form of manifestation as well, right? When we're talking about the future, because the future is not really set, is what we set right now with the energy. What we do with the energy right now is that we're already like shaping that future for us. So it's always, and this is what the ancients have always said, that the present moment is always the key for everything, right? Where you focus your energy, energy goes. And so these are ancient wisdom that has been engraved within us and is actually part of our own soul remembrance. So this could be like an activation, let's just say, of your own soul DNA to remember these aspects of what's already within you as the key to your own wisdom. And what's so important is that we tap in more so to our inner guidance, our higher guidance, which many of them are aspects of us, future versions of us who have already gone through a lot of these challenges. And so there are many, many aspects of that. And in the timelines that, we're talking about, timelines are like some form of reality. In the present moment, we are defining what these timelines are and how they are shaping out to be. So we're tapping into that timeline of that future outcome, the one that we so desire. And so this is something that I talk about in many of my circles, which is a multiversal circle of creation, and something that I like to emphasize and teach others about manifestation, and when it comes to timelines and changing our realities. And the more of us who know this, of course, it would definitely change a whole new perspective and aspect of how we are manipulating energy in a good way. So being more aware of the manifestations in your life and where you're focusing your energy the most. So there are, subconscious patterns that are playing out that, some of it, we may not necessarily be so aware. And so these subconscious patterns may be limiting beliefs that have been playing out for so long. And so it's so important right now to catch it, right, and start to reprogram it differently. And by doing that is doing repetitive declarations and just also, giving it love because it's there for a reason. It was there created through like other different wounds and traumas that may have happened during this lifetime. They may be playing out from the old versions of self from previous human lifetimes that have been stored in an old vault and buried in that subconscious area. So the moment that you have that awareness, you can reprogram yourself with different messages. So basically rewriting your story. And that is another form of manipulating the energy in a good way. Shifting it to change more of yourself in a repatterning of your subconscious level to really step in more into your own sovereignty. Our true authenticity is at the essence of our own soul. And so the more that we start to question ourselves or know thyself, asking yourself the questions, what your reason is for here or being in that purpose, that part of that purpose is just knowing yourself also and getting to know yourself well And that includes all your shadow aspects as well as the aspects that are of your gifts and talents of the light, and that are, can be implemented and used for good use to also help work through some of your shadow aspects. So the shadow is meant to be an integral part, component of who we are at the soul essence, and the life experiences that we're having here, that we are taking these lessons with us as part of our Earth School learning advancement degree that we're moving into, because this is the Light Mastery School. So you could think of it as like Harry Potter's school, and where they had the magician kids coming to learn together about their magic and their gifts and talents, and each one had their own unique ability. So we have that also. We have our own ability. Some of us, do come with some of these gifts already expanded, let's just say. Whereas some of these other gifts are just dormant, and it's just a matter of just shaking it up. And so what's happening right now with the new light codes is that it is shaking up a lot of those DNA aspects. It is not just the physical DNA. Of course, the physical DNA is also like multidimensional, but it also interweaves with the soul's DNA. And so there is this interconnectedness that is also mixing up together. So hearing, the sounds of the dog just confirms, what we're saying here with this message. That, stepping into the authenticity, we're being called to really lead from the heart. And that is where the heart is really calling us back into our own gateway. It's not about leading here in the head, it's leading from the heart. And that is the core connection essence to our soul, the portal to our soul's authenticity, which is our divinity and the power that we hold within ourselves and the creativity that we are. So we're always expanding in new ways, and so is the universe, because we are part of the universe and the universe is a part of us. So we're all interwoven in this way. So as we are growing and expanding in different ways, this is also creating those rippling effects within the quantum field of our existence and in the collective consciousness. Consciousness is not just in the head. Consciousness is everywhere. Consciousness is all of the universe. Consciousness is within each and every one of our cells in our DNA. And there's a part of you that knows that this is true. And it's just a matter of just being with the energies of you, of being of who you are. Now, if you find yourself with a lot of trauma, a lot of wounds that are just, coming up, especially for this year of 2025, is because we're going through this huge alchemical fire of change, that we're moving into this whole next level, especially those who are coming in as new humans for the new earth. And so, of course, the fires are burning, alchemizing what no longer serves. And at times, it could feel challenging. It could feel uncomfortable. So this is a time that when, we're rebirthing, it's not always going to be a comfortable thing for us. So the best thing to do is to really be with it, first of all, as a starting point. And if there really isn't much that you could do, with the changes that are happening, there is a level of trust and surrender that we're also being asked to do when we have no control over the situations going on around us, where we have no control as to what others want to think or say. And so it's really their business, right? If they want to stay in that mode, if they want to just be, thinking the way they're thinking and not look at anything else or anyone else, that is their business. What's important is to focus on yourself. And just by being attached to wanting to change someone else, it's not going to help either. And it's only going to just impact your health and your mental health as well. So for your own well-being, just let it go, because there's always a divine order for things to happen and come together in its own divine timing. And so this is where it brings us back, right, to predictions. Predictions, right, when we get attached to someone who's making a prediction and we get so stuck on the how and the when, that can also derail and push things out as well. So it's just better to just let it be and just be an observer. Most of all, discerning is the discerning of the heart. Take what resonates for you, right? And I share these information, right? You don't have to like take it. I'm only giving my advice and my point of view from my own experience, but also from an intuitive side of information that I get downloads of information. I really was getting this impulse to jump on this video to really share with you, some of the importance of this message. And most of all, I was feeling Archangel Michael, who is all about purpose. It's all about protection. And so I feel like this impulse is really coming from one of my guides, who is Archangel Michael, really emphasizing this point about our authenticity and who we are at the core essence of our soul. Not to be afraid to face oneself and confront yourself in all aspects, and that includes the shadow aspect. And I've been there myself. I've been in those like moments where I had to like confront myself, even the shadow aspects, because there's an ego part of things, right, that just says that I don't have these things. And so that's also ignoring what is really going on. So you want to just look at it from an observer also, but not in a judging way, right? Where you're gonna be hard on yourself. And I've been through those phases where I've been really hard on myself, and some of the decisions that I made and choices, and it's just not healthy either to be beating yourself up, over criticizing yourself for making certain decisions. And the decisions we make, the choices we make, what we choose, is all part of the lessons. It's all part of the learning. And the lessons are not meant to be punishments either. Nothing is truly meant to be a punishment. Everything is just a scale of balance. And speaking of that, we are now in this new moon that's in Libra, which is the scales of balance and justice. To me, it's like a restoration of undoing what has been dismantling, what has been alchemizing and changing through these fires, is this renewal and this rebirth of this new version of yourself. And so this is a perfect new moon to set intentions for new projects and new relationships that are in renewal, that are being rebalanced and being restored. And so there is this sense of justice, restoration as well. So this is a time to use, the energy of the moon for this purpose when it's on its heightened energy, especially. It's going to be on October 21st, 2025 for this month of October. I'm recording this on October 19. And so take advantage of the energies that present themselves. These have not been ordinary new moons or like even full moons, because there's been an extreme amount of light code increase on the planet that has been associated to the Christ consciousness. There's been a lot more Schumann resonance that has been spiking, that shows the white side. The white area color of it means that it is super intense codes of energy. But now the Schumann resonance, for those who don't know, is really the heartbeat of Earth. So this is the actual measurement, scientific measurement of the Earth's frequency pulsation. And it has definitely changed. So right now it's beginning to stabilize in a way. So it's almost like it's integrating or conforming to the new frequency, which is moving at a faster pulsating rate. So as we step into faster pulsating rate of energy, it's going to shed other areas of patterns that are no longer serving us. So This is our time to really shine and be the spiritual warrior we came to be here, to be the light masters, to be masters of the light, in other words, masters of the energy, and being able to tap within yourself to liberate yourself, let's just say, and be in your own sovereignty. Not allow yourself to be programmed by others, what others say and do. It's really about your own choices and the frequency that you decide to choose. And so we'll conclude this with Archangel Michael's message, who wants to channel right now through me. Beloved child of light and joy that you are in the heart, I see your heart. I see the big heart that you have. The aspect of you that is so giving, that is so loving, that is so joyful, yet is covered by these challenges, these worries, these fears. So let me take that from you with your own willingness. Let me step in and amplify this energy of what you already are. And the more that you do this, the more that you will feel and connect. Let's just say reconnect and reunion with yourself and your soul, in that remembrance of who you truly are at the core of your essence, the divinity, the spark of divinity that you are. And we are always with you, protecting you as well. So just call upon the angels of light and love, and we are there already, giving you this protection of love and light as you are going through this magnificent shift of this new human, this blossoming that we see, and this greatness where you stand in your sovereignty of light, of love, and of joy. And so let it be so. Until next time, with love. So I hope this message helped you. Would love to hear from you. And I will catch you in another video. Take care.